So, look, lads, ideally, I don't want to have to make these videos. Ideally, I don't. But there is always stuff when it comes to this that I just have a problem with. And I'm somebody that on this channel, you're going to see just give my opinions on basketball. You're going to agree with some things I say. You're going to absolutely despise other things I say. But that's going to be the reality of the Mick Hoops channel. And if you guys like that, subscribe. We're trying to hit, I don't even care what number we're trying to hit. We're getting 2.2K by the end of the day. We're like 28. That's insane. But I got to talk about this Bronny situation because every bit of news I hear that pisses me off, I'll make a video. One, they do well. So people obviously have an interest in it. But like, it is like a level of nepotism that we have not seen before. And like, you're seeing, I saw this right here. And it's just the way the wording is, like you can see it from The Athletic. A source close to Bronny James said the plan for him is to only play South Bay Lakers home games. The plan is simply a decision made with regard to LeBron's son. Like that is a quote. It's a quote decision. And it said made regard to LeBron's son. This is the only time. It's from a article for the in The Athletic. And it is the only time they call him LeBron's son is when they say that. So a source close to the situation basically said, like, that he was basically, they made the decision because he's LeBron's son. That's what they implied. That's what they've heavily implied. That the only reason he's only playing home games is because he's LeBron's son. Like, first of all, we know the only reason he's in the damn league is because he's LeBron's son. If his name was John Green, let's just say John Green is his name, and he was the son of a plumber and not arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, and he did the exact same thing. He went to Sierra Canyon. He played all the way through. He probably is a bench player at Sierra Canyon. Maybe gets a bit of burn. Probably has a few mid-major D1 looks. A lot of D2 schools are looking at him, and he spends his high school career being like, oh, will I get that D1 scholarship? Will I get the D1 scholarship? And eventually maybe he goes mid-major, comes off the bench for a mid-major school as a freshman. Obviously, you can't take into account the cardiac arrest thing, but like, again, it didn't affect his basketball. He wasn't good enough in the first place. Like, you've got that situation, and then, after his freshman year, I averaged 4 points a game on 30% shooting. Let me enter the transfer portal and go to a D2 school. I'm going to have a good D2 career, average double figures, and maybe get that transfer back up to D1. If not, I'll play out my D2 career. And you know what? I'm going to go play pro. I'm going to look to play pro in, like, what countries can I go to? I'm going to go to an agent. Well, we can send you to, Ireland for €1,100 a month and rent. Or we can send you to, like, Armenia for less money. Okay, I'll go and play in Ireland. And that's what the career path would have been for John Green, the player with the exact same skill set as Bronny James, but is not LeBron James Jr. But the reactions to this are awful. The allegations are never going away. Makes sense. He's a unique player with a unique circumstance. It is a unique circumstance. And if people are saying, it's Centel, never heard of a professional player only playing home games. And I've already talked more about it, that it's awful because it shows that, like, Bronny James is only, like, for show. Bronny James is only, like, he's only there for show. He's only, he's the mascot, basically. He's the mascot. They may as well have brought Julian Newman. Like, obviously, Bronny James is way better at basketball than Julian Newman, but just the general point I'm trying to make is, like, a guy it's clearly not NBA level that they're just bringing on to, like, make people happy. And, like, I tweeted out earlier as well. It's like the goal was never to develop Bronny. He's a 6'1" guard who can't shoot, has no handle, can't pass, can't create for himself, and is a mediocre defender and mediocre athlete. They know he'll never make him an NBA player, so they're just trying to make as much money as they can from him, which is obvious. He's LeBron James' son. And, I mean, whoever this person is said the quiet part out loud. They said the quiet part out loud. They made sure to refer to him as LeBron's son when they were talking about that. It was just, they were like asked why, and they were like, it was the decision we made for LeBron's son. Like, they said the quiet part out loud. And you know what? There's definitely people in the Lakers organization that are pissed at this. I'm sorry, there are dudes that could have that roster spot that actually, when they're on the court, might be an NBA player. There is, what's your man's name? I don't even know his name, but he balled out in one of the preseason games. In fairness, one of the preseason games where Bronny had 17 points. But like, outside of that game, the man's shooting like 10% from the field. And he's chucking. That's the worst part about this. His per 36 numbers, I think, what's he averaging? I think his per 36 numbers are something like 12 points per game on 30 shots a game. He's shooting nearly a shot a minute in the NBA. But like, and this is the thing where you've got even like a daughter of an NBA player saying, see, I agree. I basically said there are guys playing D2, D3, and NAIA that are better than Bronny. And she said, I know and I agree. I also think people don't realize how many NBA children came before Bronny and never got this level of nepotism treatment and were better, even taller and more athletic. And he's quite literally the first to have nepotism genuinely be the only reason he got into the NBA and on an official contract. I've seen G League before, but not even two-way. Exactly. Like, look, Dwayne Wade's kid got into the G League because he's Dwayne Wade's kid. Dwayne Wade's kid was like Zaire Wade doesn't even play basketball anymore. And that's the problem, is that these players, like, obviously, this is very different than, like, this is a, like, very, very difficult, he's entering the G League draft. And, like, did he play for Ignite? No, he played for the G League for a couple of years. Average 1 point a game was clearly not good enough for Zaire Wade. Sharif O'Neal was the same. Not good enough. And we've barely heard of him. And then the problem with these players is, like, if you are possibly Melo's kid, I haven't really seen much of him, but if you're like Cam Boozer or Dylan Harper, or Caden Boozer might be an NBA player, if you're one of these guys, heck, there's so many, like Jaren Jackson Jr., obviously, a lot of NBA players' kids are playing. And the problem is, if you are like the son of an NBA player and you are not at the NBA level, it is very unlikely you're going to play professional basketball unless you are EuroLeague level. But the problem is that if you are American and you are an American playing in the EuroLeague, you are a player that is an NBA level basketball player. Some of the reasons why a lot of players, Americans, are in EuroLeague is that they might be, say, like your Kenneth Lofton Jr.'s, you're like 6'7" center build that can't really play anywhere than center, or you are your Mike James, where you're a bucket, or like, and Jimmer type players where you're a bucket but you're an undersized guard, and if you're not giving you 20, you're losing it on the defensive end. So those type of players, they're NBA level players, or they're former NBA players. Almost every American that's playing EuroLeague is an NBA level player. So fair enough, you're a kid of an NBA player and you end up in EuroLeague. But like, the problem with like the likes of Bronny James, and I think if Bronny James was good enough to last in college and be like a really productive player at USC, I think there's more likely a chance that he stays, rather than them thinking, oh, the only way he's ever going to make it, we're going to see the father-son duo, is that if he leaves now. Like, if he went into the draft this year, he would not be, he still would be picked. He's Bronny James. But, yeah, so, like, that would be one thing. But it's like, for example, I'm just trying to think, like a Marcus Jordan. Marcus Jordan would have been a decent level pro player in Europe. Not EuroLeague, not Euro Cup, but a decent level pro player. But he's never going to do that because life is comfortable. Like, a lot of these pro players overseas, they end up living in slums, and Bronny's never going to do that. But Bronny just got an $8 million contract. And the fact is, you're seeing here, source close to Bronny James says, planning for him to only play home games was a decision, and made sure again to mention LeBron, that is LeBron's son. And that's the thing, like, he is the first player to have effectively, if you consider the genetic lottery a competition, then you could argue that he's won a freaking competition to be an NBA player. And you know what? People are like, they think they're putting him on a Delta flight. People are acting like if there's not, like, they couldn't just chart, or it's not, like, within his means to just fly to a game. As well as that, like, if the only reasoning is the flights, okay, book him like his own bus. I know it's America. It's too far away. It's too far away to do that. But I don't know, just something like it's clear he's a sideshow. It's clear he's a sideshow, and like the more you read about stuff like this, the more people are, and you're, as time's going to go on, people are going to start saying the quiet thing out loud more. Obviously, this source said the quiet thing out loud, and it's making the entire situation look even worse because it's just awful. Like, and again, the one reason I don't blame Bronny is that I'll blame LeBron on this because, look, I'm not going to call LeBron James, I think, is clearly acting in what he thinks is in the best interest of his kid. Heck, LeBron James has just got his kid an NBA to the NBA and got him $8 million. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not going to question that. But the problem I have with the situation is, actually, I don't even really have that much of a problem with the situation. My real problem was with the Lakers. The Lakers could have said no. I'm sorry, the Lakers could have put their foot down. The Lakers could have said no. Like, I genuinely don't have that much issue with a father trying to put their son in a position to succeed. Maybe in his head he had the logic of, you know what, Bronny, it's with all things in nepotism, it's never about if you are good at your job, if you are decent, once you get, even if nepotism gets your foot in the door, if you're good at your job, people will forget about it. Maybe LeBron had that thought in his head, but like, and he's maybe delusional about Bronny's ability because he's his kid. And obviously, if you're Bronny James, you're never going to say no to playing in the NBA. That's been your lifelong dream. I blame the Lakers. I blame the Lakers. It's their fault. At this stage, as much as you want to hate LeBron, look, if you were a father and you could guarantee your kid gets to live out his childhood dream and will get paid handsomely for it, I think 99 out of 100 of us will say, yeah. Even if they don't deserve it, would say, yeah, well, if I have the power to do that, I would. And then if you're Bronny James and you get to be paid millions of dollars to live out your childhood dream, you would obviously say yes. I blame the Lakers. It's the Lakers' fault at this stage. Because this situation, and if you're the Lakers, you're like, oh, maybe it'll keep LeBron happy. But like, whatever about giving him that first minute, giving him the first game, but the entire circus that's followed, like, oh yeah, you know, he's a G League player, but he's only playing home games. Yeah, you know, he doesn't actually have to be part of a team. We're just going to make him the circus act when we play at home. We're just going to make him sell tickets. Like, the Lakers have turned Bronny James as much, like, whatever about, if you want to say about LeBron James, the Lakers have turned this man into a sideshow. They have turned this young man into a sideshow, and it's just not a good look at all for the NBA. It's not a good look for the Lakers. It's not a good look for Bronny. It's not a good look for LeBron James. And the entire situation is just getting more and more messy by the day. And again, the only reason that they're doing this, and I'm guessing if you're the Lakers, the only reason you even have Bronny James at all, and I don't even know why I'm guessing, it's obvious the only reason he's there is he's LeBron's son. Anyway, my camera froze. See you guys.